the new Python. That's right. The Colt Royal Blue Python is back. And yeah, this has been some time for me coming, and I always wanted to see if they were ever going to do this when the stainless ones came out, and they did. They did the blued version, and as you can see, the finish, I mean, hopefully that, I mean, I'm not sure how well the camera picks that up, but that is the main thing I want to focus on here. Did that finish capture that vintage times? And I say, you know what? They came real close. No, that is not bright stainless. That is the blued steel. Beautiful. So some of the things that I wanted to go over and look at since I got my hands on one of these is take a look at that forcing cone. That is a pretty decent thickness there. And also they had beefed up the frame up in here. Of course, this is nothing new for the 2020 Pythons, and that's what I mean. We're referring to these as the 2020 Python. Obviously, here we are, 2024. They released the blued version, which was definitely, when I heard about it, it peaked on my radar right away. So definitely really cool to have these things back in action, back as a catalog item that we can, us living now can actually appreciate, to see, that, hey, look, we can get these and they're available. That, that is super cool. So some of the things they changed, you can see the crowning, the reverse crown or the recessed crown, whatever you want to call it there, to protect the rifling, and also the front sight has been removed, or be able to be removed by removing that. A lot of moves, right? Rather than the double pins through the side there. Roll marks, pretty good. Pretty close. They're not exact. Of course, everything, not everything is going to be exact. And then on the other side here, let's check out these roll marks here. The camera will focus the glare and the shine of this thing. There's the roll marks there you have. So again, just gorgeous. You can even see my camera in the reflection. And what's the action like? Well, like nothing. Butter. Absolutely phenomenal action there. Okay, so a couple of the things to point out. You could almost say maybe eyesores or whatnot. They did put the serial number on the side here with a QR code thing going on there. A lot of people, honestly, I'll tell you the truth. When I first when I first started seeing the 2020 Pythons and stuff coming out, honestly, I didn't even notice it was there. You know what? I mean, bottom line, yeah, should they have put that underneath the grips on the frame? Yes, they should have done that. I don't know what Colt was thinking when they did that, and including the serial number. I mean, come on, put the serial number on the inside of the frame here, where the yoke or the crane covers it up. That's a traditional way. People have also put one on the bottom on the frame and the tang of the grips. So the other thing to go over to, the other thing that I've noticed has changed. I used to have a couple old vintage Pythons. The other thing too is everything is pretty much beefed up, and the action, the double action, is really nice. It doesn't stack on you like the other ones used to, the older ones. I remember the triggers used to stack, and the hammer contour is a little bit different. So you got the serrations. They didn't side the hammer, meaning they didn't polish out the sides. Basically, it's a solid, basically blued hammer, which I actually like. I know some people were. I also feel that there was a lot of nitpicking on these things because of what they were able to do and pop these things back out again. I know that the collector's market and everything for the older ones, it may have taken a little bit of hit. I think there always will be a market for the old collectibles, but like for me, I wanted the beauty of it. I didn't want it to subtract, you know, if it was so dramatically different, I wouldn't have had an interest in it myself, but it's pretty spot on to the old originals, and I can shoot it, enjoy it, take it to the range, and run some rounds, which that was what my attraction to this thing was, definitely. So, as usual, the gun is absolutely stunning. The grips are not made by Colt. They are made by Alt Mount, from what I understand. They're not quite the old school grips. They're a little bit on the thin side. That's the one thing that everybody was, myself included, I always felt that the grips are on the thin side. But I am glad that they at least did this, where they offered the wood grips on it. They could have easily, you know, cheaped out or whatever and got with some kind of rubber deal or something, which would have been, you know, not the greatest. But I'm glad they actually took the measure to do this. You can get aftermarket stuff without breaking the bank for some original grips, and get some grips like these that I picked up here. These are pretty good. These are the closest I saw to the old school Pythons that, you know, without spending $300 on the grips or whatnot. So anyway, there it is in all of its glory. Beautiful vent rib, and hopefully that bluing kind of shows you something. A lot of the photos of these things and everything, keep in mind, when I first got this, those of you that you know, have opened them up out of the boxes, you know, but those of you that haven't, these things are shipped off in a plastic bag soaked in oil. So it really doesn't do much for the finish, you know. I mean, obviously protecting it from, you know, the elements over time, you know, depending on how soon from the time it gets into somebody's hands. But keep that in mind. Underneath all that, you know, oil smeared all over it, mud catting underneath that, is this beautiful polished blued finish. It may not live completely up to the royal blue of the Pythons of yesteryear, but I'll tell you this much, it is pretty darn close, don't you think? At least I think so. Anyway, thanks for checking it out. Do appreciate it, and hopefully you saw my radio collector show on this, where we talked about it a little bit more in depth. Thank you.